You're listening to the Unbelievers Podcast.
There were several groups. One of the principal ones was the reptilians from the Orion complex.
Without any exaggeration, it was like being on fire inside.
Rats were eating them inside.
This stuff was in my mouth. It felt like it was 500 degrees. It was unbelievably hot.
My first question would be, were you a member of the Church of Satan, a card-carrying member of the Church of Satan? I don't understand.
There's always an argument for everything, you know? Just because somebody can fake something doesn't necessarily mean it's full.
And we found a life form. And that's when I started shitting my pants.
So for the person who called, I am carrying an alien.
An alien baby. We cover it right here, okay?
Something is happening. What is it? That's the question. So do UFOs exist? It depends on what you mean exist.
When most people think of Canadian television, they think of such classics as The Kids in the Hall, Today's Special, The Deanie Petty Show, and The Littlest Hobo. While some may think American programming to be superior, our friends to the North for sure have us beat in one genre: game shows. Today, we unearth from the archives of the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation the most unbelievable game show ever aired. A game where renowned psychics, astrologers, and clairvoyants use their unique gifts to identify mysterious guests while seated in a soundproof booth. So join us now as we travel back to the 70s to talk about the Canadian psychic game show Beyond Reason, here on the program where you continue to learn to unlearn everything you know, eh? Hello and welcome to the Unbelievers Podcast. I'm your host, Rus Ryan, and I am joined today by my co-host in California, Drea Mora. Hello, Drea.
Hello.
And in Boston, first time co-hosting, we have Amelia Childs. Hello, Amelia.
Hey.
And on Long Island, our soundboard engineer and producer, Rob Okey.
A gray on the roof, observing us.
What's up, guys?
Hey, Rob, get off that roof. Time to do the podcast.
Yeah, get down. It's time to do this show. And yes, we'd like to welcome Amelia Childs to the show from Ghost Hunting in New England. Hey, Amelia.
Hey, guys. Thank you so much for having me on.
What's happening, Amelia?
We are very excited to have you. But before we get into today's show, man, I always got to have a question for you guys. When growing up, were there any game shows that you guys liked in particular? What about you, Amelia?
Yeah, I like Jeopardy.
Jeopardy's a good one. What about you, Rob?
Off the top of my head, I can think of I like the Nickelodeon ones, like Double Dare. Remember those?
Yeah.
And what was the one with the slime where they drop slime on people? I forget what that one was.
Can't do this on television? That wasn't technically a game show.
What was that one? I was thinking of Double Dare, and you already said maybe that was Double Dare.
Maybe it was.
What about you? What about you, Drea? What's your what kind of game shows were you into? I
mean, I liked all of the above, but I also really liked what was it? Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, that Pat Sajak and that Vanna White.
Ooh, yeah, that Vanna White, man, the timeless Vanna White. I'd say for me, I don't know, probably just during the summer as a kid, I could not miss Price is Right. I don't know, I just liked some of those goofy games. Like the yodeling guy, and I know it sounds basic, but Plinko. Man, I was a Plinko mark. I love some Plinko.
Oh, freaking Plinko, man. Who doesn't like that? If they don't, get out of here.
Man, if we could somehow work Plinko into one of our games, I don't know how we do it. We'll figure it out. But let's get into tonight's topic and just play the song.
What are you?
Systematic of the class. Hollywood conjures images of the past. New world needs spirituality that will last. I've seen the future and it will be.
Yeah.
Dude.
We're playing Prince. So Once again, if we're playing Prince, that can only mean one thing, that we're talking about psychics again.
Is that what that means? Okay, good.
Nice.
Sure. We played Crystal Ball last time, and yeah, Prince is just a go-to for psychic songs. But why am I asking you guys about game shows? Well, today we are talking about a Canadian game show called Beyond Reason.
That's my kind of game show.
Have you guys ever heard of this show before?
No.
Never.
Absolutely not.
I wish I had.
That's perfect. Well, let me get into it. Beyond Reason was a television quiz show seen throughout Canada from 1977 to 1980. Kind of explains why you didn't see it. You guys probably weren't alive or in Canada.
Yeah.
The program featured a group of experts from various paranormal specialties attempting to find the identity of hidden visitors. It resembled a combination of front page challenge, What's My Line, and The Amazing World of Kreskin. In each half-hour episode, there are 2 rounds, each with a hidden guest. The 3-member panel usually consists of an astrologer, either a palmist or a graphologist, and a clairvoyant, whose task is to determine the identity of the visiting guest. The astrologer is given only the guest's birth date and time. The palmist only sees a palm print of the guest. The graphologist is given a sample of the guest's handwriting, and the clairvoyant is given one of the guest's personal items. Now, each panelist is seated in his or her own soundproof booth so they cannot communicate with each other while attempting to discover the guest's identity. Each panelist is given approximately 90 seconds to make as many statements they believe true about the hidden guest, with 1 point awarded for every correct assertion confirmed by the guest as true or false. They are awarded an extra 20 points if they correctly guess the guest's identity, with partial points awarded depending on how close their guess of the identity is to reality. The panelist with the most points at the end of the episode is declared the winner of the episode. Now, we are going to talk tonight about 3 segments of this show, but we aren't just going to talk about them. Drea, Amelia, and Rob, you will also be playing the game along with your psychic counterparts on the show. Rob, do you know anything about astrology?
Not a lot.
Good. Today you will be paired with famous astrologer Jeff Gray Cobb. So, Rob, you are the resident astrologer for the Unbelievers podcast tonight.
Great.
Congratulations. Now, Drea, do you have any psychic or tarot reading ability?
Yeah, I guess.
Good, because you will be paired with psychic Marilyn Rossner. So you are our resident psychic. So now, Amelia, do you have any clairvoyant experience or any experience with ghosts in general?
Yes, I do.
Well, perfect. Oh, how did this work out so well? Well, good. You will be paired with famed clairvoyant Irene Hughes. All right? We will listen to these experts ask the mystery guest questions. Then I will allow you to ask me questions as if I was that person. And I'll do my best to do their voice.
No, you don't have to do that part, Russ, really.
I kind of want to.
Okay.
I will award points similarly to how they do on the show. Before their final guesses on who the person is, I will seal you guys off in a soundproof booth of my own. That's what that construction you saw in your house was earlier.
Jesus. Okay, that makes a lot of sense now. Fuck.
That's why those are there, and you will send me your predictions privately. Now remember, you are competing against each other. So if you think you know who the person is that they're quizzing, this mystery guest, don't blurt it out, okay? Save it for your isolation booths, okay?
All right.
So if you hear the person in the beginning and you're like, yeah, I know who this is. This is Colonel Sanders. Don't say it, all right? Save it. You guys are playing against each other. Yeah. You guys understand.
And these
that's a good slogan.
Yes. These are people who are relevant from 1977 to 1980? Is that who we're talking about here?
This is going to be so good.
I picked 3 people that you should all know. Okay. That somehow these people, you should know who they are. Yes, this was 40 years ago. But
show, by the way, this show is way ahead of its time from like what you just described it as. It sounds like something that would be on the Sci-Fi Channel like now.
I kind of wish it still existed. Once again, Canada is at the cutting edge of really fun TV.
It is. CBC did a lot of really cool stuff. I'm learning.
Deanie Petty.
Yeah, I know. there's a lot of great Canadian UFO cases and stuff that they cover on that channel. There's just like a lot to get into. Just on the CBC website, there's like an unexplained whole portion of it where you can find stuff like this. So let's get into the show. The first two segments we're going to do feature the show is when it had two hosts. It had a guy named Bill Guest and the show's creator, Alan Spraggett. And the third and final season of the show was hosted by actor Paul Soles.
Wait, the host's name was Guest?
Bill Guest.
That's a great coincidence. That's not confusing.
So I'm going to be, for the first two segments we'll do, I guess I'll either be Bill Guest or Alan Spraggett. I'll decide what we think is better. But, so now, let's meet the panelists of Beyond Reason, the psychic game show. Here they are.
It's Beyond Reason, and here's the star of our show, Alan Spraggett.
Good evening and welcome to Beyond Reason. Tonight we hope our visitors will amaze and amuse you. And with that, the panel are ready to begin the game, so let's meet our astrologer, Jeff Gray Cobb. Hello. Jeff has only the time, date, and place of the secret visitor's birth, and on that basis makes his judgments. Now let's close Jeff's booth and meet our psychic graphologist, Marilyn Rossner. Marilyn picks up insights into the secret visitors' personalities from samples of their handwriting. And finally, our resident clairvoyant, Irene Hughes. Irene is given personal objects belonging to the secret visitors, and from these she picks up psychic impressions. And now the panelists are sealed in their individual soundproof booths so that they can hear nothing that is said out here.
This is what psychics should be doing on TV. Doesn't this sound awesome?
Yeah, give them something to live for, game shows.
This reminds me of our pilot episode when, remember when they were asking her what was in the briefcase?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that should be it. Like, just constantly ask Stephanie Faye Cohen what's in a briefcase, and hours of entertainment will unravel.
So I'm gonna. Then these guys are your partners in this. Now Jeff Gray Cobb, I'll describe him for you. I said Colonel Sanders earlier. He kind of looks like hippie Abraham Lincoln. Like his hair isn't long, but he's
so
like
is he wearing a tie-dye shirt and that tall hat?
He's got like the psychic outfit usually of like a turtleneck and a tweed jacket or something.
Does he have a chin strap?
I was like, what's the psychic outfit?
He's got a big bushy chin beard.
Chin strap beard.
Now that's your boy, Rob. And Marilyn Rossner. Marilyn Rossner is always she could be a ghost. She looks like she's dressed in period clothes. She's always.
So she's wearing sweats and stuff like we.
No, gross! Oh, bad joke. No,
that's
my joke. I know. That's a great callback.
Sorry, Russ's wife.
Yeah,
she didn't like that joke, did she?
She loved it. She's the best. But Marilyn Rossner definitely looks like the coolest one of the group, and she's always wearing sunglasses. Very cool lady, and Amelia, your partner, Irene Hughes, she's an older lady, and I swear, I've seen her on TV a lot. She is a pretty famed clairvoyant, but she's usually pretty quiet. They introduce everyone. They're like, hey, how's it going? And she's just like fiddling around because they give her a personal object that the mystery guest has. But let's roll on, and now let's introduce the host, Bill Guest.
And I want now to introduce to you our arbiter, our adjudicator, our judge, the man who dispenses the all-important scores fairly and with finesse, Bill Guest.
Thank you, Al. Thank you very much. That's a pretty powerful build-up for a fellow who doesn't need psychic power to do his job. You realize that?
Yes, I realize that.
Well, which of our psychics are going to excel tonight, I wonder? Let's find out, because our first visitor is already in the isolation chair.
All right, and now I have to tell the listeners who this secret guest is. Today's secret mystery guest is Betty Hill. Yeah, Betty Hill from the Betty and Barney Hill alien abduction case. All right, let's see if they can figure it out. Okay, so now